signals. When we say we see, we actually observe the electrical signals in our brain. By the way, there is another point that has to be kept in mind.
Remember that point I told you about that I always thought about as a kid? Like, yo, how the hell can you open these up there again? Like, how the hell are we? It's about to get warm in here. I can feel it. I can feel it about to get warm in here. How the hell could we see when it's in darkness? It's not even outside my body. But how can my brain tell my eyes and my ears what it's hearing? How am I hearing this? How am I seeing this? How like my brain, like this is crazy. That's mind blowing right there. My brain is telling me what I'm seeing. Take a minute though. Step back and think about that for a minute. Your brain is encased in darkness. Here it goes.
The brain is sealed to light, and its interior is absolutely dark. It is never possible for the brain to contact with light itself.
And we know everything is light. You know what I'm saying? The brain is in darkness. So how the brain being inside my head, I'm seeing? How it's going to tell me what I'm hearing, what I'm tasting, what I'm feeling? My brain is telling me that. My brain is telling me that I'm talking on this microphone right now. My brain is giving me the illusion that I'm standing in front of this camera. Camera is giving me the illusion of this chair that I'm sitting in. It's even giving me the illusion of my body. We're going to get into that in a minute.
We can explain this interesting situation with an example. That in front of us there is a burning candle, and we view its light. During this period, when we view the candle's light, the inside of our skull and our brain, darkness.
You looking at light. The world is lit up, right? The world is lit up. Like you see the sun. The sun is lit, but it don't light inside of your brain up. Your brain is still in darkness. To light up your brain can see shit. Your brain is encased in darkness. It's gift. Isn't that amazing? The matter, and until you start to realize yourself from this objective perspective, then you're just living a lie in your sleep. And you're not really awake. Start to understand these basic understandings of life. This is how your brain works. This is how life works. And until you understand that this is a program, will you ever understand real reality? You're just going to be living out of the thoughts of a program of something else.
The light of the candle illuminates our brain and our center of vision. However, we watch a colorful and bright world inside our dark brain. The same situation applies to all our other senses. Sound, touch, taste, and smell are all perceived in the brain as electrical signals. Therefore, our brains, throughout our lives, do not confront the original of the matter existing outside us, but rather an electrical copy of it formed inside our brain. It is at this point that we are misled by assuming these copies are instances of real matter outside us.
Real outside of you. Do you hear me? Nothing is real outside of you. Y'all gotta say that. Nothing is real outside of you. Tell them to. It's real outside of you. It is not objective or factual for you to even think that anything is actually real outside of you. You have to step back and realize all is a hologram. All is a holographic universe. Everything in front of you is a reflection. You can't all that you are. I'm going to show you this. This is why we call each other reflection here. The external world inside our brain, right? We see is inside of our brain. Our brain is telling us what we hear, is giving you your mother, your father, your family situations, making you think that you're driving in a car to go to work, is making you think that you're holding this phone right now and looking and listening to me, awakening yourself by me. I'm not real. I'm inside of you. Watch this.
These physical facts make us come to an indisputable conclusion. Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain. For instance, we see a bird in the external world. In reality, this bird is not in the external world, but in our brain. Light particles.
There's no such thing as anything external of you. Nothing is external. You have nothing outside of you. This is the very essence of the truth. There's nothing outside of you. Your mind, your brain is giving you the notion that everything exists outside of you. This is unrefutable. This is not anything we can argue about. There's nothing to argue about here. This is facts. We have brains. People have taken the brain out of people's head and seen the brain and studied every nerve, every article, every artery, every the traveling distance between the finger and the brain, the nerves and the fingers. Man has studied all of this stuff now. Here we are in the information age where it's at our access. Okay, pay attention.
Reflecting from the bird reach our eyes, and there they are converted into electrical signals. These signals are transmitted by neurons to the center of vision.
By neurons to the center of vision, which is the hypothalamus, which is the pituitary gland, which is the whole diencephalon. This whole middle section in your head is called the diencephalon. All this information is out here. And when you start to really study knowledge of self, you ain't got no time but to really go deep and dive in deep about to who you really are. Like, what you really are. I mean, here's your eyeball, right? You're a brain with a nervous system encased in bone. We're looking at each other and don't even know how to look at each other correctly. You don't even know how to look at your reality and see what it truly is. I want to open your eyes to what your reality truly is. I want you to see life for what it truly is. I want to open your mind to what truly life is, period. Now, you see this through electrical signals, right?
In the brain. The bird we see is, in fact, the electric signals in our brain. If the sight nerves traveling to the brain were disconnected, the image of the bird would suddenly disappear.
You see those sight nerves? That sight nerve right here.